Good evening, this is JC, and I want to read about the federal freezes and how they're hitting ranchers and farmers. And I think that you're going to be feeling uh, the pinch at the grocery store. And if you think eggs are high, think about the other things like meat, poultry, fish, and other things that are now going to be sky high. And how are any of us going to afford to eat anything other than starch? Starch is the lowest form of sustenance. It's also the worst form. And starch means eating macaroni and cheese, which you can buy for maybe $1 a box or something. Of course, you might not have the milk to make it. But anyway, I want to read this. Hitting ranchers hard, Farmers Union leader blames Trump for disastrous consequences. Donald Trump's latest actions are hurting one of the biggest bases of support, the National Farmers Union said Sunday. Rob LaRue, who leads the second largest general farm organization in the country, noted over the weekend that the president of the U.S. is wrong to freeze funding that farmers need. The Trump administration's decision to pause and review federal funding has sparked uncertainty for many Americans. Even if you have not personally felt the effects yet, you might soon, because these abrupt freezes are hitting family farmers and ranchers hard. And when farmers struggle, every consumer feels it at the grocery store, the farming policy advocate wrote. According to LaRue, Trump's freeze has most immediately impacted federal conservation and voluntary climate-smart agricultural projects. Across the country, farmers have been left in limbo after making sustainability investments, trusting that the government would uphold its commitments. He wrote, adding, for example, some farmers who purchased cover crop seed to improve soil health or installed solar panels to reduce energy costs are now learning that federal reimbursements have been cut off. These are not theoretical losses. These are real financial burdens that could push family farms into bankruptcy. Without intervention, these cuts will ripple through rural economies. Every farm that goes out of business means fewer families in rural communities, less money spent at local businesses, fewer kids in local schools, and fewer tax dollars for roads, hospitals, and emergency services. Furthermore, according to LaRue, beyond agriculture, the funding freezes threaten the infrastructure that keeps rural communities running. Federal grants and loans help small towns replace aging and costly infrastructure, such as broadband and water systems, and invest in local meat and food processing, he added. Local entities have relied on federal loans and loan guarantees, existing commitments that the government is now freezing, leaving farmers, investors, lenders, and rural communities on the hook for funds already spent. Funds already spent are called sunk costs. So those costs have already come out of your budget. He also encouraged lawmakers to listen to the voices of those most impacted and recognize the real world consequences of any cuts. Our rural economy and food system, therefore all of America, depends on it, he said. There you go. The freezes are rippling, and they're rippling right on down to your dinner table. And through your Social Security checks, through your Medicare, through Medicaid, through all sorts of programs that are going to suddenly not have the money that they expected to be able to put their programs in place. This is JC, St. Louis's oldest living hippie, saying, Pox and more, Jack. Keep on.